Moving on for now, Europe standing at a crossroads. In fact, the old world order seems to be crumbling. Decisions made in the coming days will shape the continent's security for decades. And there are two important meetings. European leaders are in Paris for an emergency summit called by the French president, while Americans and Russians would be meeting in Saudi Arabia tomorrow. The geopolitical landscape is shifting at breakneck speed. US President Donald Trump saying that his Russian counterpart genuinely wants to stop fighting in Ukraine. In fact, the US has orchestrated direct talks with Russia in Riyadh, bypassing European allies. Moscow says why Europe should be on the table.
The European philosophy has not gone anywhere, so I don't know what can they do at the negotiation table. If they continue scheming some tricky ideas on freezing the conflict while themselves, per usual, as they like and usually do, just mean continue the war, why invite them there?
And already reeling from US Vice President's onslaught in Munich, where he blasted European leaders while seemingly ignoring Russian aggression in Ukraine, shocked the gathering. European leaders have hastily convened in Paris, grappling with Washington's unexpected policy pivot. The Paris meeting brings together heavyweight players, leaders from France, Germany, Italy, Britain, Poland, Spain, the Netherlands and Denmark, alongside EU and NATO leadership. And their decisions will determine whether Europe remains relevant in an increasingly brutal international arena, where post-World War II conventions are rapidly dissolving. The UK's plan to send troops to Ukraine has backfired. Germany has rejected the UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer's plans to deploy a European peacekeeping force to Ukraine, throwing the proposals into disarray. Spain says that it's too early to discuss troop deployment to Ukraine. And that's not all. Other countries, including Italy and Norway, are so far undecided. A big split is emerging. The UK and France are set to propose sending soldiers to Kiev, while Germany and Poland more likely to not participate. Both Hungary and Slovakia are also highly unlikely to join, given their government's close ties with Russia.
It is too soon at the moment to talk about deploying troops in Ukraine. There is no peace at the moment, and the effort has to be to achieve it as soon as possible, making it clear that we, Europeans, have always wanted peace.
And earlier, we were joined by our correspondent Ross Cullen from Paris. Listen in.
The meeting is underway right now at the Élysée Palace here in the centre of the French capital. European leaders spent the weekend scrambling to try to get this organised. The last-minute summit hastily arranged a meeting after the explosive speech by J.D. Vance, the US Vice President at the Munich Security Conference, stunning European leaders. The realisation that the European continent is not going to have that ultimate backstop, the ultimate guarantor of collective security going forward as the United States. They're going to have to take more responsibility themselves, and that responsibility they're going to have to increase it very quickly, increase the size of their national armies, increase the size of their defence budgets, potentially also an agreement at these talks to increase the overall domestic production of arms, artillery and military production.
To stay up to speed with the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.